QG3VHH.
Yeah, G3VHH, G7 Siaki. Hello, John. Yep. Another week, another weekend, another radio. I've dragged out the AKD 4001, and yeah, it's still got a good front end on it. Same usual signal you normally on any of the other radios. It's been ages since I've used this radio. It's literally well, it's a toy radio now. It's never really used, but won't get rid of it because it's a bit of English amateur radio history. This is G7CRQ.
G7CRQ, G3VHH. I did miss what that was, but I was just turning the TV off, which was blasted around the other one. Yeah, all okay. Oh yeah, another week. Oh, I've been playing with the KW and it's been driving me mad. I'll get him somewhere, but not in the right direction. And there is something very strange about. Well, we know there's something very strange about the rigs because although they're very good, they're also rather delicate in terms of if they go a little bit off the rails, they're taking a long time to get back on again. So yeah, my buffer stage works, but I then discovered that as you put more coax in the line, it's diminishing the signal. Now, that side of the VFO has just got no guts, which maybe that's the case. Or there could be just that is another one of the quirky things about the KW. But I shall have another fish round and see if I can measure the voltages on the VFO, just in case one of them's gone a bit haywire. I know I've changed one resistor in there. That was the one that was causing it not to generate any RF at all. But I can't believe that the coax is causing as much problem to it as it is. But there we go. Anyway, I'm not doing any more of it tonight. I've had enough. I need to have a break from it. So I shall come back to that later date. G7CRQ, G3VHH.
G3VHH, G7CRQ. I take it's the KW2000. Oh well, it's an old radio. You're going to get these issues with them. Well, tonight I'm running off batteries. I bought a new battery which arrived a few weeks ago, but didn't have the charger for it. I had to get I've spent a little bit of money out and got a decent charger for it for a lithium-ion battery. It's a lithium-ion phosphate battery, which I want to use with my other portable gear. I mean, this is mainly bought for if I want to go out for a weekend camping or whatever. I can guarantee I'll have enough juice to last me a weekend on those, like a 705 or my 817. Without having to need a solar panel or anything like that. So that's what that's been bought for. It's a light battery, but they've kept it to the same size as a normal sealed lead acid battery, or the usual size of a 20 amp 12 volts SLA. But don't know why, because you probably find inside it's a load of 18650 cells, which would never take that sort of volume up. So once with warranties run out of it, I shall break the case open and see what's inside it and possibly recase it in something smaller. But the BMS on it's supposed to be capable of taking a 30 amp load from it, so that'd be interesting. I can use some possibly more higher powered radios on it. So that's it. I'm just trying two things out at once here. The AKD. I'm going through all my 4-meter radios. I've still got a few more to do. And I'm doing this AKD. I bought another 4-meter radio today. I bought a slightly smaller Anytone 4-meter radio. It's the size of a fag packet. But I shall be trying that out next weekend. Then I'll be on to the 4-meter handhelds. Plugging them into the main antenna. See if anyone can hear me on 5 watts. Now round to you, John. This is G7CRQ.
G7CRQ, G3VHH. Yeah, no, if it wasn't for the fact I'd damaged my E90, we could have had a QSO. I'll actually plug it in a minute and see whether I can hear you on it. It transmits okay, but it's gone as deaf as a post. So there we go. But did you say that was it's an AKD you're running at the moment?
Yeah, it's the AKD 4001. It's the original version. It's not the Garrix version. It's not had much go wrong with it. I've changed the heatsink on the back of it because that wasn't really up for the job. And obviously, being AKD, its microphone fell to pieces years ago, so it's got a separate microphone on it. Apart from that, it's bog standard. This is G7CRQ.
G3VHH. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. But I've actually got a battery pack for the Icom. Maybe I should charge it up. I know when you plug it into the power pack, it goes back down to I think maximum 15 watts. But I haven't got.
It's SDR's in Bushy in Hertfordshire.
Antenna. Maybe I should try that sometime. It's been sitting under the bench for absolute ages. So I could go portable with an Icom, but yeah, I don't know how long I don't know how good the batteries are on it. So maybe should charge them up sometime and see how long they last. But there we are. Where is it's up there? I'm trying to think where I'll put the Icom. It's up on top of the power supply for the Vespa at the moment. Once it warms up again, you can go back down the garage and be the one I can use down there when I just disconnect the antennas and move them over. But there we go.
When
anyway,
John drops carry, you'll see me come up.
I think I can hear you. I don't think it definitely picks me up. But I stupidly bunged RF into the front end of it, and it's taken out the. I don't think it's taken out the front end. We think it's burnt out the coils because it still receives. But when I start the signal generator on it, it takes a lot of RF into it before it starts to function. It's damaged 6 meters as well, but I know when I plug it into the V2000, I can get into AM and it all works fine. Hasn't damaged 2 and 70 though, so it's not a complete write-off. So, but I'm not really going to go and buy another 4 meter fan portable. It never got used very much on that band anyway, but when I first got on the band, it was my only rig. So it was very very handy in the early days. G7CRQ, G3VHH.
G3VHH, G7CRQ. It's I thought you'd been on 4 meters a lot longer than that, John. I don't remember I can remember when them handhelds came out. From the late 90s, I think. Which one did I have? I didn't have one. I had one which covered 6 meters, but I went the other way and just bought mono band 4 meter handhelds. I had a Yasu one for a while. It's an ex-PMR set, rock bound, and wish I kept it now. That was a good little handheld, that. But then later on, ended up buying the Watson mono band 4 meter handle, which is its own error which comes with it. It's a waste of time. But you can play around with different aerials on them. I'm going to plug external aerials onto them. If I go portable with that particular radio, I'll take a roll up Slim Jim made from 4th ladder line, which works really well. I keep on saying I like to build it's an error called a DDRR. What's the DDR stand for? Oh, I had it the other day. It's a bit like a mag loop. What does DDRR stand for? Oh, God. My mind fails me. Oh, crikey. It'll come back to me later on. Direct driven ring radiator. got it. Ah, ah. I had to stretch a few brain cells there, but can never seem to find the formula for calculating the actual length or the radius of the the diameter of the actual loop. It's a area which has a large ground plane, and off from the ground plane you have the loop come up and go around into a capacitor, and you tune it in that way. I think there's the same similar arrows I used to use on buses many moons ago before I went to UHF. This is G7CRQ.
G7CRQ, G3VHH. You know, I had a quick check on the E90. It's not hearing you. It just shows you how much signal it needs to get past its damaged parts. But there we go. Anyway, it's a shame really, because it was nice that it did cover 4. It was one of those mods that the guys down at Lynch's done. No, I've been on 4. I was on 4 meters in the 60s and 70s, and probably up until I moved here, because I had all the 4 meter gear that I built, the 50 watt AM and transmitter, and a valve transverter that I built as well, and with all the power supplies and modulators and also a 4-element beam, and I gave it all away. I gave it to the Harrow Club, and they sold it on. I've never seen it at any rallies. It's a shame really. So I was off for quite a while. So I moved here in the 1980s, and it wasn't until the turn of the century, I was talking to on NBC on 6, that he convinced me to get back on 4. And I bought the E90 so that at least I had something I could use. And I used to have regular Tuesday night trips to the garage, because I didn't have the cable running down to the garden, so I used to go down there with my overcoat in the winter and freeze to death chatting away on 4 with the E90. So it did good service when it was running, but as I say, after I started getting other rigs, it was very rarely used. So it's a shame it's damaged, but it's one of those things. I did sort of tentatively ask them how much it would cost to repair, and it would have been cheaper for me to buy one of the 4 meter boxes, because it's I've seen what the inside of it looks like, and there's no way I would attempt to try and repair it, and the parts are so small, and I don't think I think Icom would probably just say, well, it's a write-off. It's not one of those things that you're going to be able to repair. So never mind. It still works on 6. Still hear the GB3 AM on it, but it definitely doesn't work on 4 unless you're outside the door. So there we go. The G7CRQ. I was going to ask you, does that Icom, I can't remember his number now, the one you've just got, the portable one, does it do D-Star as well, G3VHH?
G3VHH, G7CRQ. Yes, the Icom 705 does D-Star. It's works quite well. One of the first tests I did of it was using D-Star on top band. That works really well. I wouldn't normally do it on that sort of digital mode on that lower band, but just to prove the point, we had a conversation with Jeff on using D-Star. I've got a video of it if you want to see it. This is G7CRQ.
I've got the right antenna on G3VHH. Yeah, I came just about you on the other one. Just having a look. Have I got the cables? Maybe we should have tried D-Star on 4. I've had a QSO with Martin on 4 meters on D-Star, so be interested to see what it's like. I can't remember what it was like with Martin. I'm sure it was okay. Yeah, I can just about hear your carrier with the E90. I turned the squelch off, and I think if you were running your normal power 50 watts, I'll definitely hear you on there. So, yeah. Anyway, it's good enough for most things. If I want to do tests and want to just monitor for locally in the shack, it's ideal. It transmits. I mean, I key up in a moment. Hang on a second. I'll just turn it over. Stand on one.
Okay, while you're doing that, the 705 won't do 4 meters. I have a 7100 which operates on 4 and has D-Star on it, so I could maybe next week power that up, or during the week fire the 7100 up, and we can have a D-Star QSO on 4. This is G7CRQ.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it's like. You just stand by. I'll come up on the E90. I won't be able to hear you, but you'll hear me, I'm sure. Just stand by.
I'll wrap this video up in a minute. We're 16 minutes into it.
And then it was power failure. I need the battery to be charging up on it as well. So there we go. Never mind.
Actually, he didn't break my squelch, and I just noticed on the I got the web SDR going. I quickly glanced over there. There was a signal coming up on there, but I've got the volume muted on there. This is G7CRQ.
Did you hear me direct or not with the 4 watts? Because the trouble is the battery's gone flat, so I could see there was power and suddenly it all went off. So, I'm sure you should be able to hear me on the 4 watts, but there we go. Anyway, I'll need to put it charged up again. It's been sitting on the shelf for I don't know how many weeks. Yeah, we could try that on with the 7100. Yeah, I forgot that one doesn't do for it. I wonder what happened there. Obviously there was some issue because they originally were going to have 4 on it, but probably there was a compromise and it caused more problems than it's worth trying to keep it on there. G7CRQ, G3VHH.
G3VHH, G7CRQ. I don't think they were originally going to have 4 meters on it. I think it was the guys from Icom UK which said the radio would have, or presumed it would have 4 meters on it. I think Icom, the actual manufacturers in Japan, never said anything about having 4 meters on it. I think you find because the 7100's got 4 meters on it, they all presume the that radio would have 4 on it. And I think if you look on the 7100, I don't know if it's got 2 separate receivers on it. And on the HF side, or on the UHF side, it uses a it uses the 68 mega IF, and obviously on the HF side, HF to 70 megs, it probably uses another IF on it. I don't know, but I think the 705 it just uses the same IF right the way through, and I think that's up around 68 megs. So I think that makes it impossible for them to have 4 meters on it. From G7CRQ.
Yeah, G3VHH. Yeah, maybe it was just a rumour. I had no fact to it, but yeah, never mind. You've got plenty of other rigs to fill in the gap. But, I mean, I think really there's 70 megs on the 7100 is really a little bit of a gimmick. I don't think it was originally designed. I think they just found it worked. I mean, yes, even with everything flat out on the preamp.
Right, I'll just wind this video up now. So that's the AKD 4001. Perfectly good English radio from yesteryear, still working well today. and that's
Probably
using
like
that
20 watts, something with the
battery
power
there.
I've got on there at the moment, but that would be about
So
it.
I'll end it now and see you next time.
Be interesting to see whether